So, ever since the UK added the Safety Act, Online Safety Act, a few days ago now, it's kind of sparked a trend with ID verification on many websites. Now, of course, many websites and games and everything like that are requiring or will require ID in the next coming months if they haven't already. So any content, and apparently people like Microsoft and things are actually apparently going to be doing the same. Steam, I'm not too sure. On PlayStation, we haven't heard anything, but I'm sure they'll be among the rest as well that end up age verification for stuff. In the world now of anything you view, even if it's a fucking 18-plus game, you won't be able to view it anymore because, well, it's classed as, well, protected. So it basically, it's... I don't know why they just don't ban social media. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. But although it would be pretty hard to do. Although the bypass around this would just be some of them stealing their parents' ID, or there were people actually using the game Death Stranding to fake their IDs and stuff. In fact, it doesn't actually ask for your ID like your driving license or anything like that. In a lot of cases, it just asks for a photo of yourself, which is actually kind of funny because, well, people can look older than they actually are, which in a lot of cases, or younger than they are, So, in a lot of cases, it's going to screw with people, this. And I'm not too sure. A lot of people do as well. About a week ago now, the T-App, if you don't know, is like an app for women to bash men, in other words. That had a major breach, and it used ID to verify who it was. They obviously used ID to verify if it was a woman actually signing up to the platform to try and prevent men from signing up. And of course, that was a major breach. I think they estimate up to 70-something thousand IDs were actually taken. Now they're out there free now, so I'm sure that will probably add to the stolen possessions of fraud and stuff like identity fraud and things like that, which of course won't help anything. Now, again, I'm not exactly against these whole ID verification things, but in all fairness, I think it can be a pretty bad thing. For instance, the subreddit r/beer is not really allowed. Any sort of subreddit that is marked as a not safe for work, even though really it isn't actually bad. I don't know why on earth that is marked as that, and you have to have an ID to be verifiable. It is alcohol, isn't it? So I guess that's part of the reason. But it's not like it's, oh God, it's like you're watching, porn or something, which is plastered all over Reddit, and plastered all over X as well. Now, X obviously have implemented a system, although at the moment that you can't actually verify your ID. So in other words, they have just fucked everything. So if you're actually wanting to, watch a bit of porn on there, you're at lackluster and you're fucked, in other words, because at the moment they just aren't allowing people to submit their ID for verification to be able to do it, unless it's some beta version. I'm not too sure, but either way, it just isn't adding up to anything. It's in fact, it's actually making apps a lot more difficult because you just gotta. Your ID is your new bank card. Oh shit! Sorry for a subscription. I need my card. Oh no, I need my ID now as well. It's like to sign up to a fucking thing. What you want the exact coordinates where I took the fucking picture of my ID? It's like, what next do you want? Now, YouTube is apparently jumping on the bandwagon, which I think a lot of companies are going to jump on the bandwagon. Now, then again, they kind of had ID verification before, so this isn't really something new. Any video that is age restricted on YouTube essentially is, well, it's always been a thing where I think they started pulling in the ID thing a few years ago now. But before that, you could just click onto it and say, I assure you I'm 18. Like you could pretty much do with any porn website. You just say, well, yeah, I'm 18, even though clearly you're not. I don't know why they showed them pop-ups, because they were the most useless. It's like any 18 or like website that you shouldn't really be on would just pop a little prompt and say, well, are you 18? Even though we know you're not, but still, I don't know, tick the... Like, no one's going to tick, no, I'm not 18. Yeah, it's like, who the fuck would do that, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's a stupid thing to put there. It's like accepting cookies, and then if you don't accept the cookies, you can't access the website. It's like, why put that button there then? It's like I think the only right option would be yes. For many people, no one's gonna watch porn and be like, oh, you know, I'm not 18. You know, I don't know. But either way, they added a thing. They added this quite a while ago, an ID verification for anyone watching age-restricted videos. Now, age-restricted videos are pretty rare on YouTube in many cases, unless it's like borderline porn or considered pretty inappropriate. Most of the time, if someone is age-restricted, which is very unlikely, it will comply. I don't think they can actually make money from age-restricted videos, which is very rarely why people do not really want their videos age-restricted. So in many cases, it's probably very unlikely you actually come to an age-restricted video, unless they get rid of age-restricted videos and just anything that is considered 18 plus, it maybe uses AI or something like that. So for instance, if I want to view the new trailer from Call of Duty, whoops, I'm sorry, I have to use my ID to verify if I'm of age, which is fucking annoying in my opinion, and I don't understand. It's come to a point now where everything, I'm sure every single website, even websites that really aren't adult content, are just going to be fucked. It says here, YouTube is going to start using AI to determine whether US viewers are over the age of 18. Why is this a thing? Oh, let's use AI. I guess that's better. So apparently it's going to... this is how it'll work, which, God, this is probably not going to work as well as they think it is. We will use AI to interpret various signals that will help us determine whether a user is over or under. These signals include type of video the user is searching for. Okay. The categories of videos they have watched or the longevity of the account. So, in other words, try to view content that is considered, you know, adult content. In other words, and yeah, it'll just determine you're 18. There you go. When the system identifies a teen user, will automatically apply the age-appropriate expectations. What happens if the content they're watching is considered teen, but they're actually over 18? I don't understand how this system will ultimately work. I think it's just going to false... But then again, I guess that their argument is if you're false reported, you can just submit an ID verification. Yeah, it does actually say that, yeah. If the system incorrectly estimates a user to be under, they will have an option to verify they're over 18 with their ID, such as a credit card or a government ID. We will only allow users to be inferred verified as 18 to view age-restricted content that may be inappropriate for a youngie. I wouldn't say that's very rare on YouTube for things to be age-restricted. Very rare for things to... It's not like... It's like out of, 1,000 videos, there's probably, 100, maybe 200 videos age-restricted. You know, not many at all. Like, porn is pretty quickly deleted on YouTube. And borderline porn is deleted very quickly as well. Now, it looks like the UK government is actually going after another a pretty popular website. In fact, a website or a social media or a video platform that became pretty popular with Andrew Tate, Rumble. The UK government pressures Rumble over Online Safety Act compliance. The UK government warned Rumble of potential censorship for non-compliancy with the Online Safety Act. Rumble has resisted demands to moderate content and censor its platforms. I love how the UK government is just going after them as well. It's like, but it's Ofcom really, which I think is government run. But of course, I love how they censorship all this stuff. But, Jimmy Savile was running around on that thing for years and years and years, and they never peeped a fucking eye. And that just shows you how shit these people are. When it comes, we're safety, we're protecting the children, but in reality, we're going to let a big-ass star on a BBC abuse, rape children for years, and, well, when it comes out, we're like, oh shit, wow, that was crazy, and then forget about it in a few years' time, because, well, it's no skin on our back, it's your problem, type of stuff. So, at the end of the day, am I against all this stuff? No. I think it can be a good thing, and if it protects children, fair enough. However, I think in some cases this can go too far. Any content that you do want to view that may be considered inappropriate, not porn as such, but say video games, for instance. You want to play a game like Call of Duty, now you're going to need your ID verification. I remember back in the day, people actually used to go into a store and you'd have to bring your parents in if you wanted the new Call of Duty or you wanted the new Battlefield or whatever. You couldn't go in there. Let's be honest, everybody knew. The people even who worked there, they knew that you were getting that shit. Your parents were getting you that shit. It was a no fucking brainer. Even the people who made Call of Duty, Activision and stuff, and the investors and everything, and the government and everything who employed this thing, they all knew that you were going to play the game. They knew that you were going to end up playing the game, no one else. But they kind of acted like you weren't actually going to play the game in a way. Now, at the end of the day, I think these things could help. But for certain things like gaming, I think they could do more harm than good in certain things. Which, again, at the end of the day, if it's banning a game that's got porn in it, that's fair enough, okay? Fair enough. I mean, Steam really hasn't got an age verification thing on it anyway. You can just go on Steam and it would tell you to put in your birthday and that's about it. You could just bullshit about your birthday. It's only there, I think, to stop people who are that dumb they don't know their own birthday or they can't count or anything like that. I'm not too sure. Either way, age verification is going to be becoming the new normal. Most of the world, again, the US as well, is apparently going to be slicing a lot of this stuff in. YouTube is going to be following through, although they kind of already have a system in for that, and they've had a system in for that for a while, but it's probably going to be using AI to determine, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to determine it wrong. It's going to say, oh shit, it's going to be, they bait you in and say, oh, well, it's going to, mostly it's going to use it to determine whether you this and that, which I think is fucking stupid in my opinion. They're just doing anything to sort of trick you into making like, we're going to use this system. And now it says US, but I'm sure this will be rolling out to the UK and in fact, it probably already is out in the UK. So there's no changing that. But no surprise at all. Australia, YouTube will be included in Australia's social media ban for kids aged under 16. Again, banning YouTube for children or people under the age of 18 or 16 even is another stupid thing. I know that's a controversial thing that's come from Australia, is banning social media for 16s. I don't think YouTube should be included in that. YouTube, it's like, well, at that point, are you going to ban Netflix and Hulu and fucking whatever? Are you going to, let's just ban fucking everything. Get them outside. Maybe if there were more facilities, kids would actually enjoy their life a bit and wouldn't be sat in watching YouTube all the time. I don't think YouTube is a bad thing for fuck. Yes, some of the content is plagued with cancer, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, banning it for people 16 and under, I think is a little bit extreme, man. I don't know. It's historic. You can get good history. The it's an all platform. It's tutorials. You want to know how to do something or get an idea on how to do something? YouTube. You don't have a clue on what you're doing. Say if you're, I don't know, building something and you don't have a clue what you're supposed to do, YouTube is the go-to site. You want to see how to play a game or something like that? YouTube is the go-to site for pretty much anything, and I think banning it would be fucking stupid. This whole censorship thing is actually getting fucking stupid now. And apparently, as well, Congress, a new bill in Congress, the Screen Act, distinct from kids, is an under consideration. If elected, would mandate comprehensive age verification for online access to safeguard children. I think we're going to live in a world now where children will not have very many privileges in life. Social medias will be off the rails for them. YouTube, nah, you're not allowed to watch it. YouTube is completely banned for you. You want to watch your favourite YouTuber who plays Minecraft? Psh, nah, you can't watch Minecraft. That's too deadly. Oh, you want to play the new Call of Duty? Nah, you're going to need your ID for that, son. Online ID, that is. You don't, not the store anymore. And no, it can't be your parents' ID. It has to be your ID. So, again, I'm kind of bored with these whole... It's like it's following a trend. Everyone watched the UK do it, and I'm like, they've done it pretty successfully. Let's drop the fucking bomb. And they have. The bomb has been dropped, and it will explode soon.